Check this out. In 94, Desiree Perez gets locked up, right? And becomes a federal informant. This is nobody talking bad about her. This is public record, right? Allegedly, from 94 to 98, Jay-Z is getting money. What? Emery, the dude Ty, or whatever, at one point he was rocking with DeHaven or whatever, right? Boom. From 94 to 98, Jay is hitting them, right? The indictment comes down in 98, right? Where if you heard DeHaven's story, you watched his documentary, you know what I'm saying? You know he got arrested in 98 along with Emery, Emery, and Ty, right? Now, if you listen to DeHaven's story, Desiree Perez got caught in 94 with the 35 bricks and cooperating. It's probably been working all the way until she got departed from Trump in 2020. Because what was the purpose of her getting departed? Only purpose was for her to get departed, and so probably so the feds will leave her the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? Because she's been traveling the world and doing everything else, working that company. So what did she need a pardon from 94, 2004, 2014, damn near 30 years later, right? 28 years later. Well, 24 years later, maybe somewhere around that or whatever, right? You've been doing everything you wanted to do. Why would you need a pardon? Because allegedly, so she don't have to work no more, right? I gotta shave my mustache. I hate when it grow up here and it be tickling my nose. So all this time, and I'm just this is public record since these niggas get on Vlad and everything else and tell their street stories. This shit is public record. So I'm not saying nothing that ain't public record, right? Because the way I'm telling it sounds crazy, but I got to tell it the way it is for you to see my vision, right? So when DeHaven tells his story in 98, when they got arrested, he tells that he was moving bricks for Dame, right? This is why Dame turned white. A lot of y'all may think that Dame ain't no real street nigga, this, that, and other. Dame wasn't in the trenches, but Dame was moving work. They was moving keys. They definitely was, right? Allegedly. I ain't gonna say they definitely was. Allegedly, they were moving keys, according to DeHaven, right? So with DeHaven's story, he says that Dame had to work, but he would run his people to Dame to help Dame because Dame needed help to get the Rockefeller shit off the ground. So he had all this work, but allegedly they was getting their work from OG Juan, right? This is all public record. This is, Juan had the studio, Baseline Studio, him and Jay, right? Now, all the Rockefeller artists, I'm a sidebar this, all the Rockefeller artists, they are recording in Baseline, right? But remember, at the same time, they moving coke, right? Allegedly, right? So it's Baseline is truth. You know what I'm saying? Yo, y'all come here, record state property. Y'all niggas, every Dipset to Cam got hip and say, y'all come here, record. And then they invoice the label and say how much the studio sessions were, because on the streets, they moving to work, allegedly, right? Well, they ain't alleged because niggas went to jail for it, right? But Jay, right? So it is alleged because I can't prove that, right? But if you hear DeHaven in them story, Jay was giving them Emery and them the work, and Dame and them was getting, and Dame and Jay was getting the work from the OG Juan dude, right? So OG Juan and Desiree is married. When they got married, I don't know, right? All I know is that from street stories and from YouTube stories, OG Juan was the connect, and if you listen to Jay music and you listen to these interviews, he was hitting them with the work, right? So Jay is getting hit from Juan and shit, right? Allegedly. Jay is hitting Emery and Ty, and Dame is allegedly, and Dame is, DeHaven is helping Dame move his shit at a certain point, but DeHaven quits, right? So by the time DeHaven quits, Rockefeller they on their way. You know what I'm saying? They on their way. They done made some money. They in my lifetime. Woo, 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 woo. They moving the drugs, right? Allegedly. Boom. Emery gets knocked. Ty gets knocked. DeHaven gets knocked. DeHaven beats his case because he's no longer a part of their crew. He broke off, did his own thing, and retired. But in the case, DeHaven knows that Jay is hitting Emery and them. You know what I'm saying? They all used to hustle together. He knows. But DeHaven, for the sake of him, he can't understand why Jay is not in none of the paperwork. They ain't got no wiretaps with Jay. They ain't got Jay, nothing. He's not in their discovery. He's nowhere in there. He's the same guy that got caught with Calvin Klein in the car, and he didn't get locked up. There's a story that Jay tells where he said that he was driving on the highway. He got pulled over. He was dirty as a mother, and just out of nowhere, the police let him go. I don't know if y'all remember that story. So, according to DeHaven, it's alleged fact in his eyes that he knows for a fact that Emery was getting hit from Jay. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know Emery wasn't the kingpin. He was the worker, right? So how does NJ get pinched at all? Now, it's a strong possibility that he moved right, right? But when you turn it around and you look at him, Desiree, and Juan, none of them go to jail. And you know that for a fact that Desiree is cooperating because she's I want to say a 260 source, maybe. Let me get my numbers right. One second, John. I'm getting these numbers. All right. All right. She would be what the feds would consider a 270 source. A 270 source is somebody that's willing to cooperate with the government, get on the stand, and wear a wiretap. That's a 270 source. They're not worried about their identity. I mean, of course they are, but they're willing to cooperate with the government where they're going to get on the stand and testify, wear wires, and cooperate with the government. That's a 270 source. That's how she got caught with 35 bricks and only did 6 months house arrest. You know what I'm saying? Now, they have another source. The other source is a 137 source. Now, a 137 source is an informant that they will never reveal that they are working with the government. Even another federal agent on another case. If I was a federal agent and I was in the building, we all federal agents, and there's 12 officers in this building. If allegedly, let's say I sign, Jay gets grabbed and he wants to cooperate, but he don't want them. He don't want nobody to know that he's cooperating. He would not be a 270 source. A 270 source is what Desiree did. She gonna get on the stand and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If Jay was a 270 source, he would have had to testify against Emory, Ty, DeHaven, and say, yeah, I supplied them, boom, 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 boom. No, well, 137 source is a person that works for the federal government, but they will never reveal to you that they work for the government. Not to a judge, not to another federal officer. So if we in the building, 12 officers, and I sign somebody like Jay, because I catch him and I want to know everything and shit, and he want to tell, but he like, yo, I can't get on the stand, yo, I can't do that. I'm famous, I'm a rapper, I can't do all that, man. The city's gonna throw my career. Well, we'll work with you, Jay. We'll work with you. We have something for you. But you're going to have to give us a whole lot for what we could give you. We have a source called a 137 source. Nobody will never know that you're telling? Now the judge, no. Your lawyer, no. Your best friend, no. No, not even my colleagues. No, I cannot even reveal to the guy in the office next door to me that you are a source for us. We will never reveal it ever. That's a 137 source, right? And if you don't think this exists, you got your ass is going to be in trouble if your ass is in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying Jay's a 137 source. What I'm saying is allegedly his crew, Juan crew, they all in jail. Well, Emery's home. DeAven's home. I think the guy Ty is still locked up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying he's a 137 source. I'm just saying that what make me believe that allegedly that he could possibly be is because he escaped a whole lot of shit. By 98, he was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Even though they were still dealing, you know what I'm saying? When they went and grabbed him, he had way too much to lose, and they had allegedly, they had a lot to gain. This nigga's about to be popular. He's already popular. Like, you know how we could use this guy? This is just me thinking, right? Because think about it. If Jay was all the street nigga that he would claim to be, right? Why would he be partners with a Desiree Perez? That's like he might as well have been a partner with Alpo. There's really no difference. Outside of that Alpo was a murderer. I ain't saying she was, I don't think she was no murderer. She wasn't no murderer. But you don't see how when I tell y'all Dame turned white when John McNeely said the feds is about to run in the office. I didn't know why he was telling Dame that. I thought Dame was a wankster. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm like, yeah, he probably dabbled in a little bit of crack. Everybody sold a little bit of crack. But after hearing DeHaven's story and knowing that allegedly the Juan dude was hitting them with mad work and he was moving it for them, I believed, oh shit, Dame really was getting money. And then when you listen to Cam's story, Cam said he used to go make drug runs for Dame. You know what I'm saying? Cam said he seen Jay with so much money at one point when he used to run drugs for them. So it ain't no secret that these niggas was selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say allegedly because they haven't been convicted of it, right? So let me tie this all back, right? Because a lot of this is a lot of information. But if you've been following these dudes' careers and all these stories over the year, a lot of this shit is like, wow, it's making a lot of sense. Like right now, Irv is on his second blunt. He like, yo, roll up another one, JJ, or whatever his son name is. Yo, roll up another one. Like, because his wheels are spinning right now. And it's a lot of real niggas that support me from the dark. You know what I'm saying? They don't fuck with me, but they fuck with me when they watching on here. Like, yo, and I fucks with Choke. But when they see me, the niggas be scared to death to say what's up or to hang out or do business with me. But these people's over there, they punching the wall. They like, yo, I told you. That's why I fucks with you. Right? But they don't fuck with me. Right? But all right, now let's move on. So in my mind, I'm not saying Jay is a 137. In my mind, I feel like he is. Because it would make sense why he got out of so much trouble, on top of him being in they little cult, whatever y'all call it. You know what I'm saying? Because that is also the other thing that protects him, on top of allegedly if he is a 137. It's not far-fetched. I know y'all, a lot of y'all probably like, yo, choke reacher. But why would Jay be in business with Desiree, Perez, if he was this super street nigga? What the hell they got in common? Now, if you go back to the Sway interview, well, y'all can't because Jay and them got it scrubbed. The Sway interview, Sway took the fucking interview down with Dame, y'all. You can't find it nowhere. You can't even find it. I got it saved somewhere, but I ain't have it ready for tonight. But Sway took down the interview, y'all, with Dame talking about he don't understand how Jay is over there with them. Like, nigga, they was hitting us with work, nigga. You mean to tell me that girl was the fucking police the whole time? That's Dame's energy. I can't trust Jay. Until Jay explained to me how he fucking with them. You never seen that? Even in the Breakfast Club interview when he talked about it, they took it out too. Y'all think? Go find it. Go find it. Y'all think I'm bullshit? Find it. Anybody find it? Anybody find it? I'm telling you, you're not gonna find it. They took the Breakfast Club joint where Dame talked about it in there, and Sway took the interview down with when Dame talked about it. Why do y'all think that? Who you think got them to take that shit down? They cut it out. I'll show you. Look. Look, this is the interview. If y'all seen it, y'all remember Dane with that orange jacket. But every website you go, this video is private. He took it down. Oh, what was that? Look at this. Boom. This is how everybody found out about Desiree. The Daily News put out this story right here. Alex Rodriguez was set to quit basketball until former drug mole and ex-convict Desiree Perez convinced the Yankee slugger to fight MLB over PED suspension. As Major League Baseball prepared to slap Rodriguez with a historic suspension for his sorry star turn in the biogenesis doping scandal, the 38-year-old Yankee third baseman privately told advisors last summer that he was ready to cut a deal with the MLB officials and quit. Years of steroids and legal warfare had worn him down, and he faced accelerated drug testing if he continued to play. He had been talking about retirement because of injuries. Given his prior involvement with doping, he knew he would be a target for additional testing, says one source close to the case. There was no way he could use or play again. But multiple sources told the Daily News that A-Rod's chance for a dignified exit ended when he turned to Desiree Perez, a Manhattan nightclub manager and lengthy criminal record, and with the lengthy criminal record and close links to hip-hop mogul Jay-Z. While Perez is not an employee, officer, or agent of Jay-Z's new agency, Roc Nation Sports sources say she is a major behind-the-scenes influence. She's directly involved with the athletes, one baseball insider said. She has a lot of power. Perez is a convicted felon with a long and wild history as a DEA cooperating witness and then a fugitive. She wore wires to meet with major cocaine traffickers, according to federal court transcripts obtained by the Daily News. Perez declined numerous interview requests and did not respond to questions submitted to her attorneys about her past. While sources say Perez was behind much of A-Rod's failed legal and PR strategy last summer, Rodriguez describes her only as a longtime friend. I made my own decisions with my legal team over the last year. I have accepted penalties, and I am trying to serve my penalty. A-Rod has no official ties to Roc Nation Sports, told the news recently. But according to sources fueled by animus toward MLB and distrust of the Yankees, Perez called for blood last summer. She urged Rodriguez to fight MLB on biogenesis, even though the league's investigators have flipped the anti-aging clinic proprietor, Anthony Bosch. Baseball's $275 million man had the means and connections to the best legal and professional team in the world. But when the biogenesis scandal engulfed him, the ex-MVP instead bet his future on the advice of a woman with a dubious past and zero experience with arbitration, collective bargaining on baseball drug policy. Court records obtained by the news show Perez was a part of massive cocaine distribution case in 1994. Following her arrest, she became a key government cooperator, going undercover to help the DEA build successful cases against major traffickers in Puerto Rico and Colombia. Cooperation with the feds won her supervised release, but she went on the lam and then served 9 months in prison. According to one source with inside knowledge of A-Rod's strategy, Perez demanded that A-Rod fight and accuse the 7-time All-Star of letting the MLB and the Yankees drive him from the game. Her combative stance came at a pivotal time for Rodriguez. He was recovering from a second hip surgery in 4 years and angling to protect his massive contract amid emerging evidence of performance-enhancing drug use. And this is her with B. I think that's about it, right? Caught with 35 kilos. Perez was a 26-year-old mother of young children in 1994 when she was arrested in New York for possession with the intent to distribute 35 kilos of cocaine, according to the court records reviewed by the news. Federal authorities charged she was a part of a drug conspiracy stretching from New York to Florida to Puerto Rico. From New York, Brooklyn, to Florida to Puerto Rico. She and the co-defendant, Amari Lopez, faced at least 10 years in prison. Lopez was supposedly one of at least 3 men to marry Perez since the late 1980s. But Perez cooperated, in returning for telling the DEA everything and putting herself at substantial risk, as one of the prosecutors put it. She was sentenced to 30 months in a military-style boot camp program, 1995. She went to shock. Many of the records in Perez's case were sealed soon after her arrest. You see that? Many of the records in Perez's case were sealed soon after her arrest. So you don't know who she was hitting, right? But one transcript from June 11, 1996 court hearing obtained by the news showed the feds were pleased with her star mold. The defendant has really worked closely with these agents. Assistant U.S. Attorney Lawrence Bardfield told a judge that, arguing to keep Perez out of jail. Miami-based defense attorney Alan Ross told the judge that his client wore wire on no less than the 4 or 5 occasions. Not once, not twice, not 3 times a lady. 4 or 5 occasions when she's been down there in Puerto Rico. And I think the court knows from its experience that you just can't do anything more dangerous than wear a wire and go into an undercover meeting in Puerto Rico with a known violator who's suspected of or being investigated for a murder case down there. The transcript describes how a mutual regard and respect developed between Perez and the DEA special agents she worked with to bust Colombians moving cocaine shipments of 50 to 100 kilograms. She has gone the extra mile, said Ross, adding that he believed the defendant was fully rehabilitated. Perez was released that July and placed on 5 years supervised release. She began working at night spots in Miami Beach and was scheduled to meet her probation officer at one of them, Club Onyx, where she skipped town without notice in early August 1997. Now think, y'all. She skipped in 97. Jay allegedly was hitting Emery and them, according to DA, if you go watch his story, from 94 to 98, they was getting hit by, allegedly, Juan, right? Her husband now, right? It's all alleged, or it could be a fact if you going on with DeHaven's story, say, along with a mixture of Dame's story and other stories, right? Allegedly. So she was supposed to meet her probation officer at Club Onyx. Can you imagine her in Club Onyx working there? All the drug dealing niggas sweating her, not knowing she's a government informant. Talking to her, running their mouth like these rappers do. Go up to the Rock Nation office, get around Jay-Z. Yeah, nigga, my niggas is getting it. My nigga, yo, I know you used to get it jigger, but you ain't getting it like my niggas. The boop, 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 boop. Yo, my niggas got knocked. Keep running your mouth. You might be Casanova. Shout out Casanova. The fugitive, let me go back. She began working at night spots in Miami Beach and was scheduled to meet her probation officer at one of them, Club Onyx. When she skipped town without notice in early August 1997, the fugitive resurfaced 9 months later in Brooklyn. Where she was arrested on March 5th, 1998. These niggas are still getting hit, y'all. They ain't get knocked to what? 98. From 94 to 98, they was getting. You want to see? Y'all want to see where? Yeah, I wish I fucking knew when. Let's see. Emery and DeHaven. Arrested. FBI. When did Emery go to jail for Jay-Z? Jay-Z close friend Emery Jones was sentenced to 16 years in prison on drug charges. Jay helped him come home early after writing a letter to the judge offering him an executive position with Rock Apparel Group. Wait, Henry Jones never told us that. In 2000, he was sentenced, pleading guilty In 2000, he was sentenced. Say about 2 years ago to trial. Okay. Okay, so look. The fugitive resurfaced 9 months later in Brooklyn, where she was arrested on March 5th, 1998. Perez was charged with grand larceny, criminal use of drug paraphernalia, and criminal possession of a firearm. Her probation was revoked, and she was sentenced to 9 months in prison and 3 years of supervised release. A DEA special agent from the case contacted the news, declined to comment. But lawyer Roy says she was not surprised by Perez's career turnaround. She is stunning and a bright woman, a very smart lady. Perez appears to have been in business with Jay-Z since 2002, helping the rapper run his 40/40 club in Vegas. She get knocked. They all get knocked in 98. She get arrested in 98. Emery, D. Haven, and the dude Ty get arrested in 98. And Emery blows trial in 2000 and get 17 years. No, sentence is 16 years. This is why Jay taking care of this nigga. He know Emery know right now, nigga, you did us dirty, allegedly. All right. So Perez appears to have been in business with Jay-Z since at least 2002, helping the rapper to run his 40/40 club. Their 40/40, what do you mean his? Her father owned 50% of the 40/40. She owned more than the 40/40 than Jay did. That year, the club's liquor license application listed Desiree Perez's father, just like I said, Epifino Gonzalez of the Bronx, as president, director, and 50% stockholder in the club. And y'all goofies thought that was Jay-Z's club, you goofy asses. Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, owned the other half. She ultimately joined there by her current husband, Juan O.G. Perez, the president of Roc Nation Sports, and another partner in the sports bar chain. Jay-Z and them is the real power, yo. Allegedly. Catch me at the X with OG at the Yankee game. I made the Yankee hat more famous than the Yankee can. Jay-Z rapped in his hit Empire State Mine. By 2003, the Perez's were the operators of the 40/40 Club on 25th Street in Manhattan, a trendy club named for the exclusive group of players, including Rodriguez, who achieved the rare feat of hitting 40 home runs and stealing 40 bases in a single season. In 2003, Perez boasted to the New York Times that stars like A-Rod of the Texas Rangers often come by after games in the New York era. Excuse me. Perez soon became one of the most trusted members of Jay-Z's entourage. Why wouldn't she be the most trusted? Niggas scared to death of her. She is a part of an international pop. She is part of international pop star Rihanna's management team and has been photographed partying with Beyonce. So she's before Roc Nation. Yo, do y'all understand this shit? This is not weird to y'all. I got to get back to Irving them, but This is painting the picture, y'all, to show y'all like how powerful they are, because they not only got they got the government on their side. This is why the goddamn the paper plane has had the government symbol. You can't get that if you're not working with the government, if you ain't got a government contract. Y'all niggas, yo, man. Let me get back to it, because I know Irv is like, get back to me, Choke. Get back to me. Perez soon became one of the most trusted members of Jay-Z's entourage. So crazy. I remember going to 4040 and they would not let us in. Like, Dame is like, yo, y'all know who I am? They like, yeah. But they said right there, you can't come in yet. And it was Tata standing on the other side of the door. Yeah, I remember it was another time they wouldn't let Beans in there. And it was Desiree at the door. She wouldn't let Beans in. But to make Rock Nation a true Rock Nation a true empire, the organization needed to expand beyond music. Last year, the great fanfare, Jay-Z formed Rock Nation Sports and began representing pro athletes. Baseball insiders say Perez was an important voice in the business from the beginning. Former Florida Panthers executive Michael Yormack acknowledged the role of Perez when he left the NHL team and joined Rock Nation Sports in March. I am honored and humbled to be joining Jay-Z's Rock Nation Sports as President and Chief Strategy Officer, Yormack said. I am thrilled to join an exciting, innovative organization led by Desiree and Juan Perez. Let this picture marinate for a second. They look like some innocent people, right? That's the New York cocaine cowboy mama, allegedly, in the middle. Her husband on the left of her, on her right, my left, is the one that all the Harlem niggas praise for all the coke that he moved. And then you got the rapper who pushed most of the rapper who allegedly sold a lot of their drugs. Allegedly with Dame, him and Dame and Biggs. Now, corporate America might look at these people and see the music business. There's a bunch of people in the streets that look at this picture and see a bunch of drug dealers. It depends on what lens you got on. They look innocent, don't they?